Today, I'm going to talk about the importance of unity and explain why the global GCV core team is involved in our education and ecosystem development plans that prioritize solidarity. Take today's global GCV core team to withdraw. The example of Mr. Joaquin Alejandro Roveda's GCV certificate. I will provide a clear explanation for the pioneers of the Latin community. Help them avoid being misled. We need to be clear that personal preferences should not influence us. How to interact with other GCV ambassadors and pioneers. Our common goal is to achieve success through GCV. Quickly and effectively implement our OM. Therefore, all members of our pioneer community, it is very important to function as a cohesive unit. As GCV ambassadors, we must act with respect and fairness. Treat our colleagues regardless of their nationality. We must ensure that everyone feel valued in our community. At the same time, as the global GCV core team, we have a responsibility. Guide our pioneers in the right direction. If we find any GCV ambassadors, use their titles and power to influence the pioneers for potentially inappropriate purposes, or try to bypass our global GCV ambassador oversight, we will find this disturbing and harmful to our community. In this case, we will have to consider revoking the GCV ambassador credentials of the relevant personnel. GCV ambassadors must respect the insights and guidance provided by their senior leadership, in line with our collective mission. In addition, any decision to expel another GCV ambassador should not be taken lightly. The appropriate level of approval must be obtained. In previous exchanges, I have emphasized the need to protect our communities because some people may be influenced by repeated inquiries or negative reactions, inadvertently causing confusion or undermining the efforts of our GCV ambassadors. Therefore, we will remove or ban them. However, the decision to remove the GCV ambassador, this should be done only after thorough consultation with senior leadership. This practice helps to prevent any abuse of power and foster a supportive environment. I would like to take this opportunity for my previous promotion, Mr. Joaquin Alejandro Roveda, head of GCV ambassador for Argentina, and then the head of Latin America, expressed his sincere apologies. At first, he showed commendable dedication and hard work. We believe this will greatly benefit the Latin community, especially considering the challenges they have faced before. However, I noticed that shortly after taking up the post of ambassador for the Latin GCV, Mr. Joaquin did not obtain, with proper authorization from the global GCV core team, ambassador of GCV Colombia, Mr. Edier Alonso Rinco, expulsion from all relevant groups, and he misrepresented my support as the basis for that decision. Although Mr. Joaquin expressed the reasons why he removed Mr. Edier from his post, it was Mr. Edier who advocated the concept of 1 pi equals 1 pi, but I think it's direct and constructive. It is crucial to resolve this issue privately. If Mr. Joaquin finds it difficult to communicate with Mr. Edier, he can seek our support to resolve the matter properly. The regional GCV ambassador unilaterally expelled another. National-level GCV ambassadors authorized by the global GCV core team are unacceptable. In evaluation with GCV ambassadors, after talking to Mr. Edier Rinco, who received the highest score, he clarified that he has always supported GCV and does not advocate 1 pi equals 1 pi. In light of this, I would like to offer my sincere apologies to Mr. Edier. Because of Mr. Joaquin's impulsive behavior, it has caused you a lot of trouble. I cordially invite him to continue his role as ambassador to Colombia's GCV. It must be made clear that his resignation stemmed from a misunderstanding because he thought it was my request, but it wasn't. I want to talk about Mr. Joaquin and the Latin community. For the cohesion of our community, finding a solution to Mr. Edier's situation is crucial. I think Mr. Joaquin is reconsidering his position, and regarding his previous decision to expel Mr. Edier from the panel, it helps to apologize. I begged him to invite Mr. Edier back to work in the Latin community. Unfortunately, Mr. Joaquin expressed his reluctance to do so. I suggested that he consider my guidance to promote unity in the Latin community. If he cannot accept our spirit of cooperation and unity, we may revoke his certification to maintain clarity and prevent any potential splitting. However, I found out that he quit Global GCVCT and without any notice removed me from all Latin community groups. I see the group icon for the Latin WhatsApp group change from GCV symbol to Pi Network. This change could cause confusion among Latin pioneers. Unfortunately, many in the Latin community seems to have been misled by the current leadership. We're seeing remarkable progress in some national communities. They recognize the importance of unity for the success of GCV and If some regions choose to take a different perspective, may prevent its pioneers from actively participating. This inaction could have serious consequences, endangering the strength and sustainability of ecosystems. Therefore, the core team may prioritize those with lower risk, areas with strong ecosystems to accelerate KYC and migration processes. Ultimately, any adverse effects will affect the personnel involved. I would also like to remind certain GCV candidates. They had previously worked with me in the Latin community and contributed educational insights through programs like the Pioneer Handbook. They should always remember what your goal is. Choose to take a less constructive path. This could lead to less favorable outcomes for your community. Despite this, we have an interest in the Latin GCV community. All outstanding leaders are open to leadership. We looked at the African and Arab communities, achieved impressive results, and praised their efforts. Although we respect some pioneers who chose a different direction, but it is clear that effective leadership is essential to collective success. After between regions in KYC, the competition for migration will continue, and the core team has the ability to manage this effectively. Of course, regions that demonstrate good practices will receive support to ensure the long-term success of the Pi Network. Our global GCV core team will foster a spirit of inclusion, respect the personal decisions of all pioneers. However, we must still protect the unity of our community in GCV and promote cooperation among communities in all countries. In light of recent events, Global GCV core team immediately removed Mr. Joaquin as head of GCV for Argentina and Latin America. From now on, he will no longer serve as a GCV ambassador. We welcome the emergence of new leaders from the Latin community and advocate for our common goals. We will soon evaluate potential candidates for the Latin GCV ambassador position. Finally, I'd like to share the wisdom behind a saying. One chopstick is easy to break, but a bundle of chopsticks is strong. This sentence illustrates the concept of unity is strength. Let's be united. We are determined to work together to achieve our common goals. As I mentioned in the discussion on the spirit of dragon boat racing, the more united we are in our KYC and migration efforts, the faster we can make progress. To all GCV ambassadors, you are exemplary members of our community. It is important not to let personal intentions and emotions control your behavior. Only by being mature can you truly become a good GCV ambassador. This results in faster development for the benefit of the community and individuals. Any division based on personal preference, ultimately, it will harm your community and yourself.